What is up, guys? We're back again for another edition of the Bird Speedrun. Today is day number 42. We are currently hot on the come up. 1750, I think, 1742. Let's get things going. It's time to go. It is pouring outside. There's some torrential rains going on. But it's okay, we're here in the birdhouse. Let's go with the Scandinavian. I haven't played the Scandinavian in a while. Knight c3, queen d6, knight f3, knight f6. They play d4, we'll play a6. This is all standard stuff. All normal, standard fare. We put the knight on c6, I think we can. He did not play this properly. They're supposed to play g3 and bishop f4. We'll play bishop g4 here. h3, okay. h3 is interesting. Bishop h5. We do need to be a little careful here. From what I remember, if takes, knight takes d4, we could quickly get bamboozled. Queen takes b7. We do not want that. Let's just castle queenside. Castle queenside and be happy. I think I will take the pawn now, though. Now I'm developed enough for it not to matter much. The kingside is still very underdeveloped, though. We need to be very careful here about how we're going to manage this. Bishop g4, we'll play e6. So, opponent plays queen e1. Very strange move there. Not sure what it's doing. I guess he's playing for rook d1, but it just drops this. It's time to go. Nice. Perfect. 1750. 1750, everyone. Let's go. It's time to go. New game. All right, here we are. Bobovsky Fischer. Bobovsky Fischer. I like that name. We got the classic copycat. Yeah, I'm not really convinced about the copycat. Okay, that's interesting. He's not going for the classic copycat. Normally, if you see this f4, f5 stuff, they're going to copy every single one of your moves until move 10. At least that's been my experience. Classic copycat. They play g6, we can play knight c3, d3, and e4. That is the goal. That is the goal. And it's time to go.
FTV Claude, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked.
It's time to go!
We're waiting. I'm really excited to be getting to 1800. We're getting close. 1800, then 1900. We might eventually even hit the 2K mark. It's time to go.
Wake up and smell coffee!
Okay, he disconnected. I guess it was really time to go for him.
We're waiting.
All right. Nice. I'll take it. What a weird moment to abandon. Bro's playing in America. I don't think that yeah, I'm not completely convinced that it's let's try this weird opening. Let's try the two knights tango. Knight c3, we'll play e5. This is a very weird system. It's called the Mexican defense. Yeah, that was I don't know what that was, that abandon. Like the guy's in America. Normally Americans don't have bad internet. e3. E3 is where we could take, and all of a sudden we've transposed into an exchange French. From what I remember, I've been looking at this opening a little bit. We can get the bishop out. As long as we get the bishop out, d5 is not a problem. This is a very interesting system, as you can tell. d5, knight e7, but the idea... Yeah, the only problem with this system, supposedly, is that if they play d5 immediately, these pieces get really bunched up. I'm very interested in this system of the two knights tango. It's a really weird system. It brings a smile to my face. Let's play c6 here. Counter their pawn. All right, well, he just dropped a pawn. He just dropped a pawn. He'll get the pawn back, though. He'll get the pawn back. So if I take here, takes, bishop takes, and he's getting the pawn back, and I'm a bit behind in development. I'm not so sure how simple that is. I'll play d6 here. I'm not really sure what he can achieve. If he plays a3, I'll just bring my bishop back. Yeah, that's not a good move. People get in this this habit of just playing for checkmate, and it is not particularly healthy. I think we could play knight e8. We're gonna play f5. Bro is definitely gonna load up. Bro is definitely winding up. Yeah. Heracles GM from Germany. Okay. Yeah, we'll play knight f6, bishop d7. I really don't know these positions that well, though. I've only studied the two knights tango a tiny bit. Very interesting system, though. It's just completely bananas. If they play e4, we play f4. The whole idea of the two knights tango is that you get this King's Indian looking structure, but with your bishop outside of the pawn chain. Normally, of course, your bishop is locked in here, either on e7 or g7 on the fianchetto. But in this case, your bishop is outside of it. And that makes a massive difference. The strategies for both sides are very different from normal King's Indian. Normal King's Indian fare. Bro's in a lot of trouble. e4, we play f4. What are we gonna do? We take... No, let's just put the bishop on d7. Let's keep holding on for the moment. Yeah, just keep going steady. Very, very interesting position at the moment. Really not sure what these knights are doing. Opponent is holding on well, though. He's not dropped anything, and this must be a very weird system for him. I would assume this is the first time he's ever seen the two knights tango. The Mexican defense. Alright, so how can we do this? I guess this knight is sort of misplaced here. Let's play knight g6. I have a very sneaky idea. I'm going to play e4 takes and then implant the knight on e5. I still want to do that, but maybe that doesn't work anymore. e4 takes, knight e5. If he plays queen d4, I think we play rook c4 and we trap the queen. That sort of traps the queen, but the big problem is his queen is just going to go back to e2 instead. All right. I'm just going to keep waiting. I'm going to play knight e7. I'm interested in how he's gonna react here. How is he gonna play this? b4. All right, we'll put the bishop on b6. I don't see any problems yet. Dude could try knight a4. Yeah, knight a4 is a little sneaky. Knight a4 is certainly a little sneaky. I'm not that worried about the trade though, honestly. I'll play h5 here. If he trades, we take back with the queen. To my Brazilian eyes, it looks completely fine. But I'm not particularly well versed in the Mexican defense. Okay, well that's a mistake. Bishop e5. Bro had been hitting me with some good moves, but I think now we got Heracles. It's time to go. All right, let me just take. Snatch that. Want to take here, but then they go bishop b3, and that gets a little cheeky. Best to avoid the tricks. Let's play queen a6. Is he going to see that I'm attacking the knight? I think he'll spot it. He's a 1700. He'll spot that. You never know, though. You never know. Okay, nice. A resignation. Perfect. 1766. Let's keep it going. It's time to go. Playing Heza Farokshi from Iran. Yeah, I know. There's this Iranian boy named Heza Ahmed or something. I forget what his name is, but he's like 3,000 on chess.com. Extremely talented junior. Why did I play the Sicilian? What am I doing? Can I hope that he's going to play an actual opening? At least he can't play... Okay, that's good. At least he can't play the Alapin. That's the most important thing. Just don't play the Alapin. Please. I've seen enough in my life. I can't take another Alapin. Here we play e5. Yeah, I played the knight off to get to GM, so I know it quite well. I'm not that fond of it anymore. I lost my partiality to it. It's definitely one of the soundest and strongest systems, but it's just doesn't feel the same. You know what I mean? It doesn't interest me. It doesn't engage my mental faculties the way these other openings do. The Taimanov, the two knights tango. All right, let's play bishop e7. These systems are very theoretically difficult. It's really like a swamp. Bishop c4, that should not be good. From what I remember, maybe did I make a mistake by not putting the bishop on e6? Let's just put the bishop on e6 now. This whole structure normally is never bad in the Najdorf. Nothing can be wrong with that. Yeah, I'm thinking back to like 2021, 2022 when I made my GM norms, and I can't believe how bad my openings were. I was playing the French defense and I didn't know it at all. My openings are just in general quite bad. Like granted, I knew a lot of other things, and that's why I was able to bridge the gap and play for GM and end up achieving the title, but yeah, my openings were just disastrous. Like some French variations I would get, I'd never played them before online or in person. Like I would get some positions that I'd never played even online in a single practice game. And I expected it to go well. So this is a classic sacrifice. You take here, you ruin their structure, and you're also netting a pawn. Generally, that's a good idea. You can't be doing badly here because you're getting rid of their pawn. Now your d pawn can finally move up. Your other knight can grill into the c4 square. They also got a big weak. The c3 apple is very weak. They're in a lot of trouble. It's time to go. All right, if I play d5, he plays c4. This is getting a bit bananas. d5, c4. What is going on there? He's going to play f3. Maybe I don't have full compensation here. I'll just move my knight back. His pawns are still very ugly. I have a nice center. I should be careful about pushing d5 that soon because it allows him to trade the pawn off with c4. Yeah, games have gotten a lot more difficult. f4 is a good move. We'll play e4. I still maintain that black has good compensation here, but maybe it was a bit too rushed, that sacrifice. I should have been more careful. I should have been way more contemplative about it than just throwing it forward. Throwing it forward like a can of tomato sauce in a supermarket. h3, okay, he's playing for g4. I'm in a lot of trouble here, honestly. I'm not sure. I think I might be worse here. How are we going to get pieces out? I need to get this knight out of the way. I'm going to play... The problem with d5 is he just plays c4. Let's play b5. Yeah, b5 I like that because now he can't play c4, and next when I play d5 I'll have a nice rock solid tree here. Classic rocking around the Christmas tree. And now, you know, I really want to get my knight to c4. I cannot use b6 though. Yeah, I'm really proud of this positional move. This is an important positional move. But I can move my other knight around. Is he going to try queen e5? Yeah, this guy has a lot of pressure in this position. And queen e5, oh, sorry, queen e5 drops the queen. That's really good to see. Okay, my knight can come to f5 or c4. Either of these are great squares. Once I can get to one of these squares, I'm going to be doing very well. This game was definitely a wake-up call, though. The coasting time is over. The coasting time is 100% over. If this game had gone slightly differently, I would have just been losing here. Knight f5, queen has to go back, and then we can play knight b6, knight c4. Yeah, once I have this knight here and these pawns like this, this has to be very, very good. Bro is going to play queen d2. If I play knight b6, he takes. And then he plays knight d4. I don't know. I think I have something there. I got a cool trick. He doesn't have anything with these pawns, obviously. He has to take here. If he lets my knights dig into these two squares, let me highlight all the squares I'm covering then. I'm covering this, this. I would be covering this enormous complex of squares. Yeah. Wasn't even able to highlight all of them. There were like 10 more. So yeah, he could try knight d4. I think he has to try knight d4, but then I play b4. h6, that's going to create a lot of weaknesses. He has tons of weaknesses now on the dark squares. I'm going to play g6 here. He is definitely going to try knight d4. I can tell. I have a feeling for such things. He is, yeah, he's a greedy boy. So we're going to play b4. The idea is I'm just going to take here and ruin the structure. I think he has to try c4. c4, things are getting very ugly for him though. c4, I think I could trade everything, play bishop c5, and then d4. Yeah, if he had played c4, I would just take. Bishop c5, rook moves back, and then d4, and I think black's definitely in the driver's seat there. So here, can we just take? Yeah, what is the plan here? This is actually a wild position. I could definitely take. Yeah, actually half of me wants to take because that ending with the pawns, all of these pawns are going to drop immediately, pretty much. We take, queen takes, rook takes. Bishop c5 makes the most sense because if I take there immediately, he plays rook a4. You know what? I think that this is going to be such an interesting position. I could definitely take with the b pawn here. That would also be very strong. Is rook c8 best? Rook c8 would also be very strong, but he takes, I take, and then, no, he takes with check and he takes my rook. It's my queen. But then I mate him. That's just a wild position. I think this is simpler though. Let's just take here. And yeah, the cool thing is that if he takes with the queen, we have a lot of very interesting endgames. If he takes with the pawn, I'm technically down in exchange for only a pawn, but I think he has several weaknesses. So here, we have to trade. We've got to trade queen g7 as mate. Now he has an interesting choice. If he takes this way, I take this pawn. Well, this should just be over. These pawns are going to drop like apples. It's apple picking season. It's autumn in Nantucket. And it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Let's go. Let's get things moving. Rook g1. He dares play rook g1? Rook g1? Let's just play rook f5. It's still apple picking season. That doesn't change anything. Man, he could try rook b1. We trade everything. He takes on b4. I take on h6, and I have like 10 pawns at that point. Yeah, I think that looks winning, but that's going to be a bit wild. That should definitely be winning, though. I'm going to be up several pawns. He will eventually get a passed pawn on the a file, but the idea is I'll quickly be able to play bishop d2 and e3. His rook is going to have to get passive almost immediately. Okay, takes. And it's really important. It's essential to not allow check and him to scoop this pawn up when we still have left his h-pawn on the board. We have got to take this. He'll play rook b6 now, and we're going to play king f7. He'll take the pawn, and then I'm going to play bishop d2. And I think that position for him is resignable, because we're going to play e3 and e2. Yeah, let's play king f7. If I allow him to take here, he's going to take this one, and then rook d6. Here we'll play bishop d2. He could throw in a check. He throws in a check, we play king f6. He takes, we play e3. That's getting a little messy. It's getting a little messy, and I'm not talking about the soccer player. All right, we play king f6, takes, e3, rook h2. I think that position should be completely winning. My bishop is still dominating him. We could play something like king f5. He pushes the a pawn. We play king f4. He plays king b2 and king f3. Yeah, that's winning. I could also push the g pawn. It's a bit risky, but it is definitely winning. I could also check and take here, but I think this pawn is more or less worthless. It's important to just take action while the king is still so disconnected. Yeah, my bishop is really superb here. He cannot play a4 and a5 easily. Even if he plays a4, look at that. How is this king going to even force it through? He would have to go king a2, king b3, and then push c3, and finally then go a5, but that's just going to take way too long. He'll play rook h2 here. We'll play king f5. He'll play a4. Oh, well, he could play king b2 and c3, but that... I think he did it the wrong way. He should have played rook h2. I want to analyze this with the computer. I want to make sure that that endgame was winning. He'll play c3 here. We'll play g5, a4, g4, a5, g3, a6, g2, a7, queen. That has to be winning. That has to be completely winning. There's something much simpler though. After a4, I can just play king e7. I'm just moving my king back. He cannot do anything here. If his king moves at all, we're going to take. All right. Dude definitely had me on the ropes there, though, for a second. That was not a position I was really confident about. It's time to go. Nice. Can we look at the game review? Let's check this game review out. Chess.com. Can we go back here? Yeah, if he plays... Okay, so if he plays rook h2, yeah, it is winning, but it's... Man, this is complicated. King f5, king b2, king e4. Ah, king e4, look at this. If c3, we have king d3, and we're going to win anyway. That's important. My idea was if a4, we would play g5, king b2, g4, and he plays c3, but we play g3. And this is just a wild race. He's going to play a5, we play king f3. He is going to queen one pawn, but his rook has to just like sacrifice itself now. Or I guess he could play rook g1, but here, we make a queen, and we are up a bishop at the end of the day. We're going to make a queen as well soon enough. All right, let's keep it going. Let's see what happens. Let's get one more game under our belts. 1774 at the moment. Fantastic score. Playing Alejandro. Alejandro from the Philippines. What type of photo is that? I swear, the photos people use on chess.com. Why would you choose that photo? 96, this is a weird system. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I had this in a previous game, though. I think this is the perfect time to play d4, though. Because the idea is they've played knight c6, and they're also fianchettoing their bishops. So both of these point to the idea that this solid brick wall has a special importance. And a special strength. A special strength. I don't know what... I'm used to speaking Spanish. My mind is thinking in Spanish. In Spanish, it's especial. And for that reason... I've forgotten that in English, you don't add an E. You only add an E to the adjective. Is it an adjective or an adverb? Especially. I don't know. I'm not going to try to think about these things. These things make my head hurt. It's some type of ad. Throw it in the ad basket. They castle, will play knight e5. Takes, we can take with the f-pawn. Yeah, white has a very nice setup here. He is not able to counter with the normal c5, which is what he needs. All right, knight e5 is perfect here. Queen f3 is coming next. He better get ready. Okay, he goes there. He has an idea of playing knight a5. Knight a5, yeah, knight a5 would be very annoying, actually. We need to install a knight here. Let's play knight d3. I have to get a knight to c5. All right, I guess he's playing for b4. b4 shouldn't be an issue just yet. This is a wild position, isn't it? Should I put the bishop back here? Yeah, this is such a strange... I don't know what is going on here. I'll play bishop c2. I don't know what's happening. I hope I'm playing this correctly. White can't be worse here, given that he has these weaknesses, but I need to really be able to I need to be able to reinforce it with something like bishop d2, rook c1, and ultimately get some pieces out of the way if I want to have lasting pressure here. Let's play knight a4. I'm just drilling into the c5 square. The c5 score is the most important score on the board here. If he plays queen d5, we can play e4. I would relish the opportunity to play b3 if I could to make sure that this knight stays out. If he plays queen d5, we'll play e4. Queen moves back somewhere. We could play b3, and then we'll put the bishop on b2. Yeah, this looks fine here. All right. If b3 now, should I be worried about knight a3? I don't think so. Let's play b3. Bishop b3 was also possible. Is he going to go for knight d6? Knight d6 is sophisticated. This is such a mind-blowing position. I don't know what's happening. We have to be playing for e4. So I'm going to just try to get my pieces out of the way, reinforce c5, and I'm waiting for the perfect moment to play e4. I would play rook e1 here, but he could always install a knight on e4. So there's no point in really rushing with it, but we do want to play e4 eventually. This position is bananas. Completely bananas position. I'll play rook c1. I don't see what he's threatening right here. Yeah, because the thing is that if he takes, I just take back. If he takes, he's actually just trading off this relatively useless knight. There is no rush to trade here yet. He takes, I take. All right, what's the plan? This is such a strange position. This is such a strange structure. Both sides have such weird structures here. This is weird, and then also this is weird. It's too much weird. Too much weird in the position. And it's time to go. Yeah, if he ever plays queen d5, I guess now e4 might be a threat. I would also love to play bishop d3 and start to target this weakness. He plays queen d5, we can play e4 and then steamroll with e5 or d5, depending on what happens. Yeah, that could be very strong. I wonder how many R's are in my name. Whenever I have to log back into this chess.com account, I can never remember it, and so I just put the email associated with this account because it's very hard to remember. Bishop b5. As long as I have this knight enforced here, there's really no question that white is better. Now looks like a good time for e4, but he's going to play knight d7. Could play bishop d3. I think he has a lot of... Both sides have weak light scores, honestly. I think he has more weak light scores, though. Truth be told. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of convinced myself of that, but it's true. He does have a lot more weak light scores, so we should trade the bishops here. I can play e4 whenever I want. He is never going to be able to rectify these weaknesses easily. Half of these are on light scores. Half of these are on dark scores. These are all weak because he pushed his b pawn too far, and he does not have a d pawn any longer. Dude is in a lot of trouble. It's time to go. It's really time to go. Let's play e4. Finally, we can start pushing. I guess he's going to try to play knight g4 or bishop g4. That's like optically the only place he was eyeing. Yeah, this guy's in a lot of trouble. He plays knight e8. We'll play e5. He plays bishop h6. I don't understand that. We just play... Yeah, what are we going to do here? Let's play queen f3. Keep the queen defending the pawn. All right. This is such a strange position. h3, just pushing his bishop back. He's going to probably put his bishop on c8. This is such a weird position. This is such a weird position. He plays bishop c8. All of a sudden, he has some ideas of knight h5. I think there I have to play g4. Yeah, this is a real cat and mouse game. Bishop d7, let's play g4 anyway. It's time to go. The foghorns have blared. It's time to go. Can't wait any longer. We gotta go. All right, bishop e4. This has been a really slow grind, hasn't it? This has been a grind for the ages. Man could try f5. I would trade and play g5, and his bishop is completely walled in there. Very strange situation. My bishop is also quite bad, though. I think he has to play f5 in this position. f5 is the only move that makes sense. Dude, how are these people finding these moves? Something is in the water at chess.com. f5 is a fantastic move. He's down to 2 minutes. Maybe I should just try to flag him. We take, he takes with the bishop. I could take here, he takes with the queen. Then I take, and I move my bishop back. Well, then he plays bishop h6, and all of a sudden he has some pressure. How do these positions happen? If I take here, I could definitely take there, but then he takes with the rook. No, he's opening up on a weakness here. Yeah, we can't do that. I'm gonna take. I think that I'm gonna just try to flag him. My opponent's played an unbelievable game. As usual, I have my suspicions. We'll see in the game review how, like, the validity of those suspicions. Let's play a3. I want to create a weakness here. He played a fantastic game. We only have like a slight advantage here, if anything. And a3 is a must. I need to create a weakness over here quickly. King f7. Okay, maybe he's not using a computer. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. We could play knight b7, knight d6. Let's start by playing queen d2, though. Let's attack this. Was he going to play h6? Is that what he's going for? It's really time to go. b8. We'll take. If he takes with the rook, we play bishop c3. He takes with the pawn, we play rook a1. Rook is coming to a7. Queen c7. Rook c1. He's running out of squares. Yeah, I need to stop being so paranoid. I could play knight a6. Yeah, knight a6 just ends it. Too much is hanging here. It's time to go. Let's play queen c2. Pressuring the whole c-file. Queen c5. All right. So it looks like we're breaking through after all. Yeah, an interesting game. All right. I want to see the game review. Let me see the game review. All right. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. I think up until a point, though, he played a very good game. Bishop d7 is a mistake. Yeah, he made some mistakes. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. I feel like he normally, under pressure, players of his caliber, they just fold immediately, while this guy put up fantastic resistance. Anyway, I guess we're at the end of the road. It is day number 42. This one went a bit overtime, but there's a lot of dead air, so I'm going to cut a lot of it down. At the moment of this recording, it's like a 45-minute video, so I'll be able to edit out, I don't know, like 10 minutes. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for day number 43. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye then.